What up, friends and aspiring artists? Thank you for joining me in another video. This time I have something special for you. I've uploaded an entire full process drawing and painting video that includes everything. So it's like 40 something, almost 50 minutes. Let me know if you like this format, that it's extra long and contains almost everything, every little thing I say, very few time lapses in between. Let me know what you think. If you prefer this or the shorter videos, I'd be happy to provide exactly what you want. So let me know in a comment below, and let's get to it. Everyone, I have a different setup today. I have this stand. I put the paper on, and let's see what we can do here. I'm going to do a watercolor painting of this thing here. It's my reference from a picture book about Paris. So let's see what we can do here. I'm starting with a super light pencil. It's 6H, very hard, just to get some very basic lines in. By the way, I have no idea how the audio is gonna be. So because I'm not mic'd right now, so we'll have to see about that. But it's the first time I'm drawing like this, so it's okay. Now you can barely see the lines I'm doing now, which is okay. I'm just trying to figure out where I'm gonna put everything. Here we have this tree, and we have another smaller tree here, and we have a larger tree right down here. I'm going to soon switch to a pencil that will allow you to better see what I'm doing. It's really hot. My window is open, no air condition right now. Let's see. Okay, I think I can switch to a darker pencil now. It's interesting, this scene has trees from all around it, basically in all the borders of the painting, even down here. So we'll see how I'm going to, if I'm going to leave them all in, or maybe take some of them out. This one's smaller, I think. I'm trying to go really loose with the lines because I have a tendency to give over importance to every tiny detail, and this is something I want to work on, of not giving too much importance to every tiny detail that I see. You need to simplify stuff for the viewer to enjoy the painting. So this is definitely something I'm working on right now. Got this statue over here. Can just draw it very lightly, and then have the color do the rest. Just a few guides for me to know where stuff are. Honestly, I have no idea. It's the first time I just try and be really loose with the drawing. I'll have to see what comes out of it. Because I may be too loose right now, I don't know. Maybe I need more details, I really don't know. I'll give it a shot and see what I come up with. Here. I watched a few videos that really gave me inspiration recently of really good watercolor painters. I don't remember their names at all, but their works were just phenomenal. I'll maybe add a link in the description or something like that, because it's really worth watching. They're really geniuses at their work. So basically light will come from this side. This entire side is going to be really bright, this one darker. The trees here are going to be really dark. This tree gets a direct hit of light, so it's a bit brighter, and I'll try to create an interesting movement here. I don't know. Composition is stuff that I still just figure out and I really have no idea how I do, so I'll just try. We'll try and see what comes out of it. I think I can move on to the coloring now. Let's get it done. Put on the mic for you, so hopefully the audio quality will be better. We'll see. I tend to move around a lot, and that actually hurts the quality. So I'll try not to move too much with my body. Okay, now I'm starting with the sky here. So I'm going to mix, I think, a few very, very bright colors. I have a tendency to go way too dark in the beginning. And I need to tone that down, so I'll be using a lot of water. And you know, you can always go darker if you want, but going lighter is a bit of a problem with watercolors. Requires you to use a lot of funky techniques that aren't so fun to do. Lift and do some not so good things. So I'm not doing any of that. I just want to get it in one shot and not worry about it. So I think I put in a lot of pigment now. I'll add a bit of water. I'm sorry you can't see this. I'll need to think of a setup that allows you to see both my tools that I'm using and also the painting. Okay, I think I'm ready. So from top to bottom, I'm just going to hit this painting with, I'm just gonna prepare a tissue just in case I completely mess it up. I'm just gonna start from top to bottom. I'm really not used to painting like this at an angle. I'm really not used to doing that, so it's gonna be interesting, the result. I want to paint around these statue thingies because it's gonna be highlighted. Here you see the colors already running, but that's okay. Happens to everyone. You can just clean it up. I was really freaked out about such things in the past, and now I'm like, you know, it's okay. Even if the color runs out, it's fine. You can just clean it up and continue on. Even if it mixes a bit into the area that shouldn't, that's okay too. So basically you're witnessing me for the first time applying this specific method of work. I hope it's an interesting experience. And I know I may use too much water. That's okay. I'm not too worried about that. Because I'm really just learning this, how to judge the right amount, and I'm not too worried about it. That's the thing, when you learn something new, you have to be able to be forgiving about your mistakes. And I'm really new to all of this, so... By the way, this technique also of going from holding it in front of me, like the entire canvas. Maybe I'll get rid of this, I don't want that. I'm also kind of new to that, so like even the way I'm now holding the brush, that's something I'm not used to. I'm used to leaning my hand on the canvas, and yeah, so it's pretty interesting. It's challenging. I think I'll dilute the paint a bit and continue on with it, just so that it goes a bit lighter. Like that. Yes, that's nice. And when I look at the reference, I actually noticed that the upper part of the sky is a bit darker, so I'll try and go back in. I'm not sure if it's still wet. Maybe I'll screw it, but whatever. I'll try to go in back and make it a bit darker. And I know my setup is really far from perfect now, because I actually need to hold the paper so that it doesn't move too much. That's okay, I'll improve it next time. I just wanted to, you know, no excuses, just do it, because I don't have the proper setup yet. Doesn't mean I can't at least start trying this. So as you can see, the color is a bit dry over there. That's okay, I'm gonna make it a bit more wet and just blend it in. It's perfectly okay. Like this. On the left it's a bit more wet, so you don't actually see the separation, but there we go. There we have it. I was able to blend it in. I'm not too worried about this area and this area because there's the trees there and stuff like that. I will close off this small gap here and maybe take away from some of the excessive, I don't know, paint here and here. You know, you can use the brush like a sponge. If you have too much paint, you just grab it with the brush. Clean off that bit. Blow my nose a bit, sorry for the noise. Yes. Okay, so I think this is good for a first layer. I'm just gonna let that dry. As you can see, maybe a bit too dark, but it's okay. I think it'll be good. Oh, I can try and blend this one a bit more, like this, yes. There we go. Okay, that's good. I'll let it dry a bit and I'll be back in a second. The paint is dry now. We can start working on the building. I'm going to do a very light layer of yellow ochre for the color of the building itself. I'm going to apply it to all of the buildings, starting from the top. It's going to be very, very light, barely visible. Because some parts of this building are really, really light. You barely want to use color to portray them. The entire right side of the painting, basically. I will later on fix some, correct some of the mistakes there are here. Oh, annoying thing. There are a few not mistakes, but just to tie things up around the edges here. This is something that I can easily fix later on. But for now, as you can see, like a really, really bright layer of the paint. Yes. And I'll try, while it's wet, in a moment here, let's keep it a bit wet here. I'll try to add some dark values to the left side here. I can basically go ahead and use some kind of color that will neutralize the yellow ochre a bit, turn it darker, which is, I'll use some ultramarine blue, and I'll just dab it in this left area while it's still wet, to start getting the impression that this side is a bit more heavily shaded, but this is still really light. Suck it up here, and we also have this small area that's a bit darker on the right edge of this building, so I'm gonna try and get that in as well. Like this, it's here. Starting from this point. Just put the paint in, don't worry too much, let it do what it does. You really need to let go of a lot of control when dealing with watercolor. Now, because the paint at the top dried, I can go ahead and color it using a very dark tone here. I'm just going to mix up some sap green, and it'll be hard for you to see, but I'm mixing sap green and ultramarine blue, and basically maybe a bit black, anything that will turn this really significantly darker. Sometimes I find that it's hard to get really dark tones with watercolors, really dark values. I did publish a video on that, so you can go ahead and check it out. I'll add a link in the description. Because yeah, you know, it's transparent. The watercolors are inherently transparent, so it can be a challenge. Getting the really dark tone, it can take a lot of time to mix and find the right balance and the right complementaries that will produce darker tones here. I think I'll add a bit of burnt sienna also, not just the black, to make it significantly darker. And even then, it will probably be too light when it dries, and then I'll have to maybe go back and add another layer. That's part of it. Sometimes I get the values perfectly, and sometimes it's just so hard and I can't. So we'll see. Okay, I mixed some kind of a mixture here. Now let's go ahead and just start dabbing it in and see what we get. Okay, this is good. It's significantly darker. Just getting in the leaves here. Now you'll notice the more you put in, the less water and paint is on the brush, and then the lighter it will become. So you kind of need to occasionally add more water. I think I went with too boring of a pattern, so let's move this up front here and now connect all of those dots. And we basically got a good point of contrast with the rest of the area here because it's significantly darker. You see it goes a bit lighter here. That's fine. We will maybe touch it again later. Retouch it just to make it a bit darker. But it's good. It's good for now. Good. Okay. Now on the other side we have the exact same thing going on with the tree here, so I'll mix more of the same mixture here. Yellow, not yellow, green, sap green, some black, some burnt sienna, some ultramarine. I know it's a big mixture, large mixture with a lot of colors. That's okay. As long as the general color is green, you're good to go. Now here it's a bit different. You just spread the leaves like this. And then I'll connect them. Oh, it's actually moving a bit. Let me try and fix that. And then I'll connect them with some branches because there's less of a tree here. The tree is less dense, I think. What's the word for less dense? Is there a what's the opposite of dense? I know I'm going to feel like a complete idiot later on when I'll remember what it is, but for now I don't. I'll connect these with some branches, like that. Hopefully the colors are working okay together, because I really don't know. I'm not usually mixing these specific colors, so I'll have to just see and learn from it. If it's not working, it's fine. Just have to see what's not working and improve the next one. I think that's good enough, maybe around here a bit. Okay, yeah, it's easy to go overboard, and I think that's enough for the left side. Now we can do the tree at the bottom. Now it's similar to the ones at the top, only it's brighter and it has some yellow in it. So I'll add some yellow to the mixture. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Some sap green, lots of sap green and yellow. I think it's lemon yellow, what I have here. And then darken it up with a bit of ultramarine blue. And we can just go ahead and start using it here. I'm missing something here. I think I need more yellow. Let's try and get it in the mix. Sometimes you'll just start using a color and see that it's not good enough, and then you'll have to retouch it. I mean, when I say sometimes, I basically mean all the time. So yeah, it's okay. Paint that tree over here. I'm interested to know if you are indeed an avid watercolor fan. What's the thing that's challenging to you the most in your journey of mastering this, or even any other medium that you may be working on? I'm really curious to know what types of challenges you're facing. Like for me, a big one is matching the values. Just adding a bit more dark to the mixture. So for me, a big challenge is matching the values correctly, and maybe even the accuracy of the drawing. Like, because sometimes I just don't know if I'm adding too many details to begin with, or I should just let it be more loose or stuff like that. Just I think the work process is when you just start something new. That's the thing that's most challenging, because you by definition don't have an organized work process and you don't know what to do. So that's what's the most challenging for me, I think. Like for example, now I'm painting these trees at the bottom. I have no idea if the values are right or if the colors even work. I'll just have to try and see. Really, I don't know. I'm gonna darken it up, of course, later on with some let's get some yellow in there, with some other another layer of darker tone, I think here and down there, but just to, as an initial layer, I'm not even sure that's correct, but it doesn't matter. It does not matter. Okay, bam, we're done with that. Now I want to do something. I think I want to make this left side darker. So to do that, I'll get some more of the yellow ochre that I used so far and add a bit of ultramarine blue. Oh, I got way too much. Okay, a bit of ultramarine blue and a bit of maybe burnt umber. I'm using a lot of different colors and I'm worried that it's not such a good idea. But I'll just have to roll with it, see what it turns out to be, and yeah. What I do want to say now is you want to make sure that you mix enough color, because then if you run out of it, it's kind of, if you need to mix more, then it can take some time and you won't get the exact color that you just mixed. It can be quite annoying. But that being said, you don't really need to worry about it too much sometimes, because the variety in color is something that can definitely work. I just added a bit more of the yellow ochre to this mixture. Now I want to get this part right, so this left area is shaded, and here at the bottom also there's some shadow. This entire part is shaded. This part here is shaded. I'm just suggesting the this word gives me so much trouble. I'm just suggesting the shapes here. I'm not adding in too many details. This entire part is dark. I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix it is what I said. Okay. Now it may look significantly darker, and that's fine. Because it's gonna dry up much brighter than that, trust me. What I do want to add is maybe a bit more blue to the mixture. Like this, and just paint over the previous part. You want to get the sharp edges here. I honestly don't know what will come out of this painting. I don't even know if I'm gonna upload it. If I don't feel like there's enough value in it, I won't. But I'll be happy for feedback. So if you didn't feel like it was worthy of uploading, let me know. So now this part here in the middle goes a bit like that. So sunlight that comes from the right doesn't hit that part. So I do want to get that in as well, but it's going to be a bit brighter. So I'll mix it a bit brighter. and it starts somewhere around here. Yes, that's exactly where I wanted it to go. Some shadows that are casting from different objects that are here, and I didn't even indicate, but that's fine. Like this. All the way down. And I think I'll take this opportunity to darken this entire area here. Now my main concern now is actually if the colors aren't working. I'm just filling in some of the areas here. My main concern is if the colors aren't working. I think the values are okay, but I just hope that the colors are looking okay. I ended up using way more than I wanted, like a larger variety of colors than I initially planned, so it may have been a mistake, but we're happy with mistakes because we learn from them. We learn from them. Okay, there we go. There we go. I want to thank anyone who sent me an email after the last video about the reviews thing. Your support is really helpful to me, and it's really what keeps me going. So again, thank you so much for that. You know, it's hard. Getting reviews and criticism is not easy sometimes, but I take your advice to heart also, and I'm trying not to let it affect me too much. Let's correct this here, because you know, some people do get value from, if some people get value from what you're doing, you're kind of doing them you don't want to end up hurting the people that support you because others don't. That's ridiculous. I think that's it for this part of the building. Now we have this building here at the bottom. I am just going to add some yellow ochre and ultramarine and try and just paint it at once, and then maybe later on add some more details. Like this. We have a tree here that I just want to blend in with the building. I don't really care about that one. Just gonna do it like this. We'll later on create a better separation. For now, that's good. Okay, good. Now what I want to do is add some details to the right side here. So I'll mix a bit of blue and some burnt sienna. I don't know why, that's just what I feel like mixing. And I'll add all the smaller details to the right. Basically what I'm doing now is like drawing with the watercolors. I'm just drawing with it. It's not easy, because I almost didn't use that many lines here to guide me, which is awesome, but also pretty foolish, because I just tried to do it, take it lighter than I usually do, and so maybe I took it a bit to the extreme. I'll need to test it out and see how I feel about it, but it looks like this specific color mixture and value is working here. I think it looks okay, so I'll just continue drawing with it. Not too much to say here, so I'm just going to shut up for a while. You can see how it ties the painting a bit together. I'm not really doing many of the direct details that I see. I'm just kind of suggesting their existence, and this is quite frankly something I'm not used to, because I'm used to drawing more accurately, because I wasn't painting for most of my artistic career, and it's good to be used to portraying everything and drawing everything as it is. It's really a good skill to have, but it can limit you in stuff like that. So what I'm trying to do now is unlearn how to portray every small little tiny detail and how to just suggest them, which is a skill in itself. So I'm trying to work on it now. Definitely a challenge for me. Like, I want to do the more of the details in the beginning, and I'm trying to stop myself because this really prevents from the painting to be more loose and fun. Now what I'm noticing is I'm gonna let it dry a bit, and I'm noticing that in the original painting this entire area is darker, until this line. So to the right, from here, all of this area should be darker, and that'll make this area become a bit like, it'll make you better understand the angle of this area. So I'm gonna let it dry a bit, and meanwhile work on the tree at the bottom and get all the darker tones into the tree, just to create the nice contrast with the building. Frankly, all of the tree at the bottom should be darker, so I'll just go ahead and darken it the hell up. I don't like my voice today. I think in the previous video I really liked my voice, but now I feel like it's annoying. I don't know why. Maybe because I didn't talk too much today until I started shooting the video. Anyway, yeah, mixing a dark mixture. It should all be darker, so I may just end up covering all of it with a darker value here. Yeah, that looks just about right. This. Cover it all, even make it a bit darker. Added a bit of black into it. Maybe I'll let some light come through. So like areas like this makes it look a bit more dynamic and fun. See how it contrasts better with the building? That's the goal. It was really bland and boring a moment ago. What I did notice is that I used a lot of pure blue there. The ultramarine here it's too much, and I think I'll warm up this entire right side with a bit more ochre or something yellow, just to make it a little more yellow to balance out that terrible blue I used so much. Oh, there's a lot of light here at the bottom. I'll readjust the camera for a moment. Now remember, I told you I'll get this right building on the right a bit darker to create a separation. This is exactly what I'm doing now. I just want to add a bit more blue. Maybe even some red, just to make it a bit more faded or something. This building is sent a bit to the back. I know that darkening it isn't necessarily gonna send it to the back, but it was important to create a separation between the two, so I went ahead and did it anyway. And the tree here on the right, I'll just make it a tiny bit stronger, so that it can compete with the building and even blend in with it like that. Creates a nice border here at the bottom. Composition wise, I have no idea. I'm just doing what I see fit, and I'm sure there's like a billion things to improve here. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so I think the next step will be to warm up the entire right side using pure yellow ochre. I won't mix it with anything, but I will keep it light because I don't want it to be too intrusive on what I already did. And I'm just going to paint glaze, I guess, a layer on top of it. Now I need to make sure I do it in the right areas, so it's gonna start here, make it a bit more. You see, you can always go a bit darker, but you can't go lighter, so now I'm going a bit lighter. If I'd start too dark, it would be a problem. See, I'm just doing this. Now I can try and make it a bit lighter. Now you should be aware when you put another layer that it definitely has the potential to mess with the color you already placed. That's fine, just be aware of that and you'll be okay. You see, it lifts up some of the blue I just put. But it does warm up the entire right side, which is the effect I wanted to achieve. And now I'll go with a bit of a lighter mixture to also do this area here. Just a bit. That's good. Now I can go even lighter yet and take care of this area here. And you will barely see the difference, but it will affect it. Also here. Okay, that looks a bit better. Right, it's starting to come together a bit as a building and not just as a random mixture of colors. Just looking occasionally to see what it looks like from the camera monitor. Okay. Next, we want to darken this area a bit more. Let's see what I can use for that. I think I'll just need the blue and yellow ochre for that. I don't think I need more than that. Maybe I'll warm it up a bit using yellow. This is really guesswork what I'm doing now. I'm, by the way, not using a test paper, which is kind of irresponsible, because I usually do. Kind of trusting myself too much, maybe. But it's okay from time to time to mix up your work process. And be irresponsible in your paintings. Okay, I need it a bit darker. I'll add some burnt sienna. A lot of burnt sienna, actually. Now let's see what we get here. Okay. And you can see how the burnt sienna, I added more on purpose because I wanted it to really show itself, and it really made the left side also a bit warmer, which is the effect I was trying to achieve. Warmer and also darker. Okay. Now I can use that same burnt sienna mixture to make some areas here a bit darker in general. And it's good, you see how it smears off the color. That's okay. It's a part of the effect I'm trying to achieve here. Okay. I know I kind of neglected the bottom part here. I'm sorry about that. I really don't know what to do with it. But it looks like a building, right? It doesn't look that weird. What I could have done better, and just now I realize, is the sky should have been a bit darker. And I will correct it, I think. I'll do it now even. I'm going to add a bit of ultramarine, just a bit, to the sky. Maybe just a bit of burnt sienna also. And I'm gonna make them a bit darker just around the building to create a nicer contrast with the statues. And what I'm doing now is a bit dangerous, I know. But I just want to try it out, I don't really care. I'm gonna do it like this. Especially with this statue here. And then what I'm going to do is take my artistic freedom and smear that color sort of like this. Yeah, that's better. See how it comes off? Makes it pop. I'm going to just connect it to the top. And again, like, I know it may ruin the sky a bit, but I do it because I can, basically. Connect it to the left area here. Oh, that looks so much better. Take a bit more of a mixture, put it here. And then I'm just going to take the brush, clean it up, dry it. And now that it's clean and dry, I'm just going to make the edges disappear, both on the right and on the left. See this? No edge, but it does give the effect of the sharp change here. This is actually good. This is good like this. Yeah. You see how it made the top pop? And it's good. You can do whatever you want. What I like, one of the things I like the most about Bob Ross, and I just recently started watching his stuff, which is funny, is that he says, like, he has this very fun voice, and he just goes, you can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want in this world. This is your world. It's like, I like this approach. It's good. Happy little trees and all of that stuff. So... now I will add some blue here, just to the top. I don't know why, I feel like it needs to be darker. A little more blue. This. It just feels right, so I'm doing it. And I'll blend it in. Especially here. That's it. Now we got a good suggestion going over there. One last thing, I don't want to overwork this, and I think it won't look much better than it does now, unfortunately. So I'll just add some darker shadows to the right side. Here. I mean this area. Let's warm it up a bit, exaggerate it. I think we're done with the building. I don't want to overwork it anymore because it's already, I think, a bit overworked. Okay, so the last part is, I think, bringing in the strong contrast here, and also maybe a bit of a touch of dark shadow to this building, but very, I don't want to stress it too much, this building here. So first, darken up the tree on the left. I'll just take some sap green, some ultramarine blue, and ton load of black. Because it's hard to go dark with the watercolors. I'm gonna exaggerate it a bit. Okay, I think I'm done. I said I won't overwork the left side or the building in general, and I did overwork it, but it's okay. And I think it's time to sign it. I'm gonna sign it on the bottom right corner here with a really old Sakura Micron Pigma brush pen. There we have it. Let's take the camera and show you the final result for a second. Okay, there we have it from top to bottom. I hope you enjoyed this painting process. I sure did. I learned a lot. Let me try and grab it all. Overall, I think it's good for me, good for my level. What I like less about this painting is the color combination, which is usually something I like about my paintings, but I do like the value work, so it's good. I'm learning some stuff, I'm getting worse in some other, but it's all a dip in order to go back up and become better. You see, I just suggested all the details. Nothing is really well defined. It's quite ugly if you look at it really up close, but when you zoom out, it gets the nice quality here. And I like how all the things sort of bounded together. You have dark areas all around and the building, and this thing with the sky was really good, I think. This contrast that it created. If you made it to the end, congratulations. Again, as I said, let me know if this is something you enjoy, and I'll be happy to provide more of it. Feel free to subscribe, leave a comment, and don't forget to follow me on Snapchat and Instagram, where I share tons of stuff you don't get to see here. That's it. Have an awesome rest of the day, and I'll see you soon.